Twitch streamer Morgpie showed off new pet during a live stream.
Place. Good. Good. Okay, where were we? Hi, Sky! Oh my...
On one side, you've got people who were genuinely uncomfortable with what they saw. For them, the whole situation just felt off. The way it was framed, the dynamic on screen, even the language being used. Some people took it as crossing a line. That's where you start seeing comments calling it weird, depraved, or questioning how content like that even ends up on a platform like Twitch. Those reactions weren't really about nuance. They were more like a gut reaction of, this shouldn't be normal. Then there's another group leaning into a completely different angle, more cynical than outraged. These people are basically saying, look, this is just content. In their eyes, everyone involved knows exactly what they're doing. It's monetized and it's playing into what gets views. That's why you see takes like, he's getting paid, he's chilling, what's the issue? They're treating it less like something controversial and more like another example of how far streaming has pushed boundaries for engagement. After that, you've got a third group that shifts the focus away from the individuals and onto Twitch itself. This is where the conversation turns into platform criticism. People start bringing up double standards, saying if roles were reversed or if different creators were involved, the reaction or moderation would be completely different. That's where the Twitch is two-faced narrative comes in, and it starts gaining traction because it ties into ongoing complaints people already have about the platform. And then finally, there's the group that's just confused more than anything. They're not necessarily angry or defending it. They're just questioning it, trying to understand why this kind of content exists, what the appeal is, and how audiences and creators end up here in the first place. Those comments tend to be less aggressive and more like, what am I even watching energy. During a stream featuring XQC alongside Trainwrecks TV and Jesse, the conversation shifts toward Destiny, but not in the usual way people expect. Instead of debating him, criticizing him, or arguing against him, they start talking about how he actually prepares for debates behind the scenes. Jesse throws out the idea of bringing back the Scuffed podcast, and even suggests a massive call, getting Destiny, Asmongold, and Hasan all together. But Trainwrecks TV quickly shuts that down, sharing in the following.
You need to just bring the Scuffed podcast back and then bring Asmongold, Hasan together with Destiny in a call and then just go crazy.
No, but Asmon's already admitted why he doesn't want to do it. It's literally what I just said. There is going to be no conversation. It's going to be debate tactics, right? Which it isn't like the traditional honorable debate. It's you know, it's the bullshit. It's like the rat shit. I can't explain it to you. Like, if you know, you know. It's really that simple.
All right, all five of us are here. What game are we playing?
Bro, is this Destiny's notes that he... Bro, this is insane.
Wait, what?
Bro, did not see this.
Yeah, wait, I don't understand.
It's the map of his notes. Like, look at this Bro, you see this? Bro, yeah. look how many indexes they have on this.
You had the people who felt like this confirmed what they'd been saying for years. To them, this is exactly why Destiny is so hard to deal with in debates. It's not luck, it's not just personality, it's preparation. They argue that people avoid debating him not because of optics or drama, but because he actually knows his material inside out. The whole people dodge him narrative gets reframed into people don't want to deal with someone that prepared. So when this moment started circulating, it instantly caught attention. The claim was simple but wild. When Agent first moved to America from Canada, he and his friend kept getting denied housing over and over again until they tried something completely different. Instead of showing up as two guys trying to rent a place, they pretended to be a couple. And according to the story, that worked immediately. That's what made this blow up. Not just because it's funny on the surface, but because it hints at something deeper about how landlords judge applicants. Agent shares in the following, talking with Pokimane.
So at the time I was looking for people to move with, and my friend, Legend of Winning, he was moving at the same time.
Legend of Winning?
On God, real story. We got denied from so many homes, we had to start acting like a gay couple because we thought that would increase our odds. So he would view the homes while I was in Toronto, and he would be like, yeah, me and my boyfriend, and it worked. We got a house, first try. They don't want two bros moving into a house, they want a lovely couple. So we got the house, and we lived there for, you know, I still have the house. It worked. Acting? Yeah, acting.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's really smart.
First, you had people focusing on the housing angle. These reactions were less about the joke and more about what it says about landlords. A lot of people pointed out how weird it is that two guys applying together might get judged as risky, but suddenly seem more acceptable if they're perceived as a couple. That turned into a bigger conversation about stereotypes, how landlords assume certain tenants will be responsible while others won't, based purely on perception. Then you had the people who just found the whole thing hilarious. They leaned into the story itself, joking about how far you have to go just to get approved, and even imagining scenarios where people start doing this regularly just to secure a place. Those reactions weren't really serious. They were more like, this is crazy, but honestly, kind of genius. After that, there's a group that picked apart the story itself. They remembered it from before, adding details, laughing about how the roles were played, and turning it into more of a running internet moment than a debate. For them, it's less about what it says socially, and more about the storytelling and how memorable it is.